In the dream twilight of that symbol world, the dire universal shadow disappeared, vanishing into the void from which it came. Vanishing into the void. His birth is from the void. He has disappeared into that void. Now it is from there that he cannot come out now. See, as I said earlier, had it been from inconscience, from night, from hell, he could have re-emerged. But now he has gone back into the void, everything is taken back. Void means taken back, then how can he come? So, when we say that Savitri has won victory over death, one victory over death means what? Is death killed? Is death destroyed? No. He is an immortal. He cannot be. Death, the form, the power which is there, it is that which can be dissolved. She has not really killed him. The thing which is there, it is that which is dissolved. It has gone back into the void. In other words, death is still staying in the void. And because it is in the void, it cannot emerge. Vanishing into the void from it. So that is her victory. She has pushed him back from the place where from he had come, the void. Now she has to deal with the void, so to say. But in the process of, so to say, defeating death in this way, Savitri has cut a door into the void to enter the transcendental realm.
So after the void comes the transcendental.
Yeah, that is what she has done now. She has gone through the transcendental, through the void, following death. That is the most miraculous thing Savitri has done. This is the void, this is our creation, behind this void is the transcendent. It is never possible for us to go like that. It is a kind of a black hole. But now that that worm is created between this and this, so to say, Savitri has cut a door to enter into the transcendent through the void.
That did not exist before.
Huh?
That did not exist before.
It never existed at all. This is her unique victory.
So the Savitri, either you have the Satchitananda or you have the void on that side.
Satchitananda, she has taken human birth, etc., mortal birth, she is here. Now she is going back into the transcendent or Satchitananda through the void.
Okay, but when the unmanifest gets manifest, and the first thing is the transcendental.
Yeah.
So the transcendental has then such
The cosmic
or the void.
No, transcendental, then the cosmic creation is there, then behind the cosmic creation, the inconscience, behind that is the void. Now it is true, means the evolution has been like this, and what we as evolutionary being do is from here we go like that.
Yeah.
We go like this. But what she has now done is, from here she has gone straight into the transcendent, Satchitananda.
But that means, from the transcendental Satchitananda, there is also one branch which goes into the void, also from there. Not only our evolution, but also right there.
No, we cannot go like this at all. We have never gone.
But it is there.
She has created that possibility by removing death.
She has created that possibility.
But also the Satchitananda can be like this.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I think.
And you can go there or there.
Yeah, because in the beginning it said the void was created. First thing that the unmanifest, let's say, is putting itself out into the void, but completely reversing. So that's the first thing what happened.
No, the way in which I visualize is in the process of evolution, what is happening for involution, what is happening is we start from the inconscious and climb up and then go to the transcendent. That is our path, sunlit path, or what you want to call it, you see. In fact, that is what the Upanishadic rishis say. When they leave this mortal world and live in the transcendent, they say that they have put a door to the sun. Suryasya dvara. The door of the sun. They go to the supramental world through the door of the sun. That is how you go, climb up and then enter heaven to the door of the sun. Here the supermind and reach supermind, and then you go to Satchidananda. So that is how you cut the door through the sun to reach the supermind. But what Savitri has done is now, Savitri has cut a door to reach the supermind or the transcendent through the void. That is something absolutely remarkable. So, if the Upanishadic phrase is Suryasya dvaraha, Surya means sun, dvara means door, the door of the sun. We can say Savitri has created Shunyasya dvaraha. Shunya means zero, void. She has cut a door through Shunya, through the void, and then she is now reaching the transcendent. See, after all, what is void? It is also the part of the absolute, of the manifestation, of the supreme. The void is not something coming from elsewhere. So, for Savitri now, she has gone like this, not like this. So that is the most unique thing she has done, to cut the door to the void and then enter into the everlasting day. She is reaching the everlasting day this way, vanishing. So this void has now become something very remarkable for her. Okay, you have given me a path now to go like this, you see. Until now she could not do, and of course nobody else could do, because, so to say, death was guarding the door of the void.
He knew that. He knew there is a door.
Huh?
Death knew there is a door.
Death was guarding the door. You could go through the void to the Supreme.
He knew. Death knew.
Yes.
Death knew.
Yes.
Oh.
He was guarding it there. He was there standing. But now Savitri has done such a way that he has to retreat, gone, vanish. So what she sees now is actually death in its true form. Who has taken that form after all? It is Supreme Himself who has taken that form for a certain creative purpose. So she has reached that way, the Supreme. Yes, suffering is there, pain is there, all these difficulties are there, but after all, they are the means to reach the Supreme. What we normally do is, suffering, etc., we transcend them and go like this. We don't cut through them and go. Vanishing into the void from which it came. So this is the passage she has now created, a new way. Shunyasya dvara, the door of Shunya, of void, she has cut. And then, of course, as if deprived of its original cause, the twilight realm passed fading from their soul. So all gone now. There is no question of twilight now, is it? And Satyavan and Savitri were alone. Because now death is not there now. Vanishing, he is vanished. Yet, in a way, so to say, his presence is there, occult aspect of his presence is there between them, between Satyavan and Savitri. But neither stirred. Between those figures rose a mute, invisible and translucent wall. He is presenting himself now as if a kind of a translucent wall. In the long blank moments past, nothing could move. Long blank moment. Of course, blank obviously, because nothing can happen there. Satyavan is there on the other side, Savitri on the side, Death is not there, nothing can happen, blank. As if the time has come to stand still, stopped everything. Long, although time has stopped, yet it is long, because time has stopped. It is not possible to measure now the duration, time is not there. Moments passed, nothing could move. All waited on the unknown, inscrutable will. All is not only Satyavan and Savitri. He says all, he doesn't say they. All waited on the unknown, inscrutable will. So, has Savitri really won the victory? No. Has Savitri really won the victory?
One step, yes.
One
step.
One step, yeah, but I don't care about one step or two steps.
No, but she opened the door.
She has opened the door, all
Yeah,
right.
so
She has
it's
opened,
already-
but see, exactly, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Therefore, I am trying to connect this thing with the mother's work of transformation. Lord, whatever you will, succor to her. All, she has done everything, whatever. Finally, it is that which has to really happen. So, who is going to win the victory? Who is going to win the victory? It's not Savitri. The victory is going to be won by the inscrutable will. The victory will be won by the inscrutable will. When the mother says, whatever you will, Lord, whatever you wish, whatever you want, it is His victory. It is His job. So the victory or the defeat or whatever you want to call it, it is finally His. Then what is Savitri's role?
The avatar role. Of course, we know this is the supreme will, but Savitri, she is the avatar, that's all. She
No,
came
said okay.
Okay, but
Yeah.
the will, the supreme work through Savitri, no?
No. See, if everything has to be done by God, ultimately everything is in His will, then what are we there for?
Instrument. Yeah. So,
Our role is basically to be His true instruments to execute His will.
yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah. That is what Savitri is. That is what the mother is. When mother is talking about the transformation, actually she is a complete, perfect instrument for the will of the Lord to be executed. So that perfection, that is her achievement. Now what the will is going to do with that instrument, that is not her concern. It is not her concern. So that is what we have to do. We have to be really perfect instruments for the will to operate in us or through us. Through us. That is our sadhana. See, it does not mean that we have nothing to do. If God is going to will everything, then what are we here for? That is the wrong argument. That is the tamasic argument. The argument of negativism. That doesn't work at all. We had to do things. Ultimately, it is His will. Therefore, in the blank, long moment, see, it means also that all waited on the unknown, inscrutable will. All waited. It means that all are perfect instruments for the operation of that inscrutable will. Here, of course, all stands for Satyavan and Savitri and the translucent wall also. Translucent wall also. The whole scene there. Death, who has been devoured by the void, vanishing into the void. He is there in the void. So they are all, the void, that death innate, Savitri, Satyavan, they are all waiting for the inscrutable will. So this is basically the most crucial event in the process of a new manifestation. In the process of new manifestation. Yes, now we are ready. And what is going to happen due to this inscrutable will? Well, this word inscrutable, we cannot understand it all. You see, in the Book of Fate, when Narad announces the death of Satyavan 1 year after the marriage, and Savitri remains firm in the resolve, nothing doing. I have chosen and this is done. This is what she maintains all along. I have chosen and this is done. Then Savitri's mother goes into tantrums. And she says, this thing, is it your God who has created this silly world and all that kind of a thing, you see. Passionate like sorrow, she keeps on arguing. And then she says, what is the inscrutable power behind that I don't know. She speaks of the inscrutable power. Now here the inscrutable will, which has to decide what to happen. But the inscrutable will can do this, can do this, can do this, can do this, can do 1,000 things. Because everything is possible. Everything is possible for the inscrutable. What will be chosen by the inscrutable will, that will depend upon what Savitri is going to assert. What Savitri is going to assert.
She asserts already, no?
Huh?
She didn't assert yet?
No, not yet. It will come.
Because we know, okay. Because we know that what she asserts. But
We have got another 1500 lines to go. So that inscrutable will has many possibilities. You cannot limit the possibilities of the inscrutable will. Out of those possibilities, which possibility will emerge will depend upon what Savitri is going to assert.
the fact that the death was...
Death is now gone. Death you keep aside now.
Yeah, but
He is no more there now.
it means we know what she choose.
No.
Okay, 1 minute. For me, this last line show us this is the step of to go into the supramental, because we conquered the death and now we are in the immortality.
No, now that death is no more there at all. Death has, the presence of death meant a certain way you are doing things.
Okay.
Certain way you are doing things. In a way, death was limiting the inscrutable will in a certain definite manner.
Only like this. Not.
The presence of death would mean he was limiting the possibilities of the inscrutable will in a certain manner. It will happen like this, etc.
Only this, it means.
This is what it would mean.
It doesn't mean we are already here.
Now that death is no more there, all the possibilities have opened out.
Yeah, but there is one obvious possibility that there is no more death. We cannot go back. You said.
No. Now what is going to happen, nobody knows. See, all death himself, the translucent wall, Satyavan, Savitri, the entire creation is waiting now for the inscrutable will's choice.
Okay, but can I repeat?
Yes.
You said yourself the death cannot come back anymore.
No.
So we are no more in the death life.
No.
So
Yeah, but then,
the immortal life.
no, it's not, now we are talking in the context of Satyavan and Savitri.
I know, but I mean she cannot choose to go back to the death life.
No, you see, it is for her to decide. It is for the inscrutable will. We can't restrict him. If she wants it through that, it will happen that way also.
Really?
Yes, why not?
But you said the destiny cannot come back at all.
What she wants is, look, her inscrutable will. See, I mean, the inscrutable will means the Supreme has many possibilities of willing. That is the first proposition. Now, out of those possibilities of willing, which possibility will be pursued? That is determined by what Savitri is going to affirm. You see, that's the whole beauty. The inscrutable will, the inscrutable will does not mean that I don't have a will. Savitri has now identified herself so much with the Supreme Will that she can exercise her own individual choice, her own will. That is the greatness of Savitri. And then later on, Supreme, yes, you want like that? Let it happen this way, this way, this way. You want light divine upon earth? Okay, so and so, so and so. She could have willed something else also, possibly. She could have willed, you see. I mean, for instance, I mean, just for the sake of, as a kind of a joke, okay, you want light divine upon earth. All right, it is granted, the Supreme says. And the story ends there. Savitri could have said, no, I don't want life divine upon earth. I want earth to be lifted to heaven. She could have said many other things like that, you see. She is asserting whatever is there, she is asserting for the sake of the soul of the earth, for the soul of man.
The last chapter we read now,
Yeah.
there is many paragraphs where we find Savitri asserting. She asserts, she chooses already.
She choose. Choose.
She chooses already.
And then she says, thy Lord, thy peace, Lord, thy will, etc. She chooses like that. Yeah.
So
we will come to that.
You think she will change her mind?
We
now?
will come to that. Yeah, we will come to that.
Yeah, exactly.
He is offering something, and you see, that's the whole beauty. In fact, we are kind of anticipating some of those passages. Basically, the greatness of the individual who has realized his Supreme Self is to have his own individual will, his true truth will. That is his great realization possible. When that truth will is supported by the Supreme Will, then his path becomes the divine path. It happened, in fact there are only two instances where the individual will, so to say, refuses to accept what the Supreme himself offers. The Supreme is offering this or this or this. He says, no, no, no. Only two instances are there. Most of the time what we say, Lord, you want it to be so, let me accept it. I am not really exercising then my will. I am not really exercising my will at all then, you see. I had to really prepare myself to be a true individual, to exercise my own personal individual truth will. Then only I have become a true individual. You see, we'll do that thing when we come to Book 3, Canto 4, the vision and the boon. Ashwapati is approaching the Divine Mother. She knows why he's coming and all that kind of a thing. And she says, Mr. Ashwapati, Monsieur Ashwapati, you are in a hurry. Time will take care of everything. Don't hasten things. It could be disastrous. It is not very advisable for you to rush through things. I know what you want. You want welfare of the world and all that kind of a thing. I know that. But don't push things too hard, too fast. The world will not be able to bear it. She advises him. And she gives a very sober advice to him. She says, all right, in the meanwhile what you can do is, you can go back to earth and do work to promote what you are desiring to do, you see. One shall descend. I grant you a boon, you go back and things will be done in proper course of time. This is what she says, you see. Then Ashwapati says, Madam, I refuse to accept what you are offering to me. He had the courage to say, sorry, I am not going to accept your advice. I am not going to accept your advice. You are talking of this and that, don't keep on pressing only one bar of time that it will take care of itself. No, I want things to happen this way, this way, this way, this way. I want that you should take the mortal birth and come down to earth and take care of the problem of mortality. He asserts, in spite of her advice and all that kind of a thing, he had the courage, boldness, strength to assert what he wants. He says, I am sorry, I am not going to accept you. Your advice is not it's not a very good advice for me. What I want is, you must take human birth and do certain things yourself here by taking the mortal birth. The problem of mortality is deep, as if she does not understand it, but he wills it. And because he wills it, she grants it. So that is the will of the individual. And when that will has the fire of truth in it, then the divine accepts it, grants it. It does not mean that divine has changed mind. It does not mean that the Divine Mother she is advising, okay, do this, and Ashwapati says, and he says, okay, I will do that thing. She is not changing her mind. She is not fickle-minded that way. She is accepting because what he is saying is a truth will, is a truth content in it. And every truth will has a possibility of getting promoted. It is important. It must get promoted. You want it like that? Okay, let it be so. This will. All these things are open, but you want it this way. Okay, we shall follow this now. Same thing, Savitri also. We will shortly see it. Savitri has cut the door through the void, Shunyasya Dvara. She has entered into the Supreme realms. She is face to face with the Supreme. And the Supreme says, Savitri, you have done something wonderful. Nobody in the entire history of spirituality has done this kind of a thing. You have done it. You are most welcome. Come and stay here. Stay with your Satyavan in this marvelous world and be happy. Savitri says, I am sorry. Don't give me that kind of an offer. She has the courage to say, I am sorry. I don't want that kind of an advice at all, you see. Whatever I want, including my Satyavan, I want my Satyavan not for myself. I want my Satyavan for the soul of the earth. Give me that alone. The rest has no value for me at all. I want whatever I want is for the soul of the earth. So she has that courage, that strength, that boldness, that yogic power to assert her own truth will. It does not mean that the Supreme got defeated by Savitri's argument. The Supreme has allowed, all right, that possibility has been opened out, okay, pursue that possibility. If this possibility opens out, this will be pursued. If all these things are based on the truth will. So our thing is, therefore, in fact, that is what we are here for. Our sadhana is for what? We have to establish our own truth will, our own possibility of manifesting the divine truth which is there in us. Each one has his own individual truth. And we have to bring that individual truth fully into operation and express it in the manifestation. That is what and it is for that purpose the mother's post is there. Mother will do means what? She is not going to, she will do that. You see. Mother's work is that. You see. You have to build up your own strength, your own yogic courage, your own yogic power to hold what she is going to give to you. So all waited. We are not really even prepared for that thing. So there is no question of waiting for us. See, we have to prepare. We have to prepare ourselves, see. All waited of the unknown, inscrutable will.